Welcome to this pause for practice. I invite you to continue to work with me and create this community of practice so that we can place mini practices, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, weave them in the course of our days and nights to bring more frequency and more consistency to our capacity to be present, to be centered, to be attentive to what's happening within us and what's happening around us in a way that allows us to respond with more intention, with more capacity for nuance and for presencing what we really feel is needed and what we want to bring of ourselves to the different circumstances, the many varieties of relationships that we have in the world in ways that are emergent and authentic to the moment and not so conditioned out of our wounding and our the way we were brought up to feel and think and act. We're programmed by our own experience to feel and think and act in the world. So take a moment. We'll take about 10-ish minutes. We'll do some breathing and stretching just to kind of bring some life and energy and vitality into our bodies. And then we'll sit. And then we'll take a little more breath work. And then we'll do just a practice of attending to the direct experience of our inner worlds and our outer worlds. And so let's do it. So take a moment, and if you have a place you can stand and move, you can do that. You can modify this to whatever you're needing in this moment and whatever is accessible to you. And if you have a spot you can sit, that would be great. So take a moment and just open your body up and stand in what we call mountain pose, just palms forward. Let your eyes be soft and just glance around for a moment from your left. And just open and soften your gaze to take in as much as you can with an open perspective, not looking at one particular thing. And then scan your eyes just to the right until they get to the far right of what is visually available to you. And then take it back through the left, and then take it over. If the screen is in front of you, take it over the screen and just look up and out, feeling into that sense of horizon, expanse, attenuating yourself in this moment to be present with what is right here in this room, but also what opens up beyond the spaciousness of this room that you're in. And then when you feel ready, just take a moment and let the next exhale draw the breath fully out of your body. You can draw your abdominal back a little bit to expel the last of the exhale. And then as you inhale, let your arms come up. Press through your feet, spread your toes, and you're pushing down at the same time as you're reaching up. Sip in a little more air. And then turn and look with the spine twisting to the left and just let your arms fall and let the air come out of your mouth with a ha sound. Let's inhale, take the arms up. Sip in a little more breath. Hold it as you turn to face the right side of the room or the space and exhale with a really press down through the shoulders. Let the hands kind of drip down as you complete the exhale, and then inhale, lift it up. And bring it back towards the center, and then exhale down the center. And on the next inhale, press through the feet and take your arms up, straight up, and reach like you're just taking a straight line out of the crown of your head. And go ahead and press the glutes, drop the tailbone, open the front of the spine, the front of the body, taking last few sips of breath on your inhale, stretching up. And then as you exhale, just take the arms all the way around, reach out, and then press down. Again, let the shoulders move away from the ears. Take one more like this. Inhale up. Feel that sense of drawing the belly up, up through the chest, up through the top of the head. And then as you exhale, press it forward. And now we'll take the opposite for 2 breaths. Reach up and back. You're still opening up, but bringing the arms up and around. And this time as you exhale, bring it in, draw like one arm, top arm across, take a little hug, look down, curl the spine. And then as you inhale, take the arms up around the body again. But through that, reaching back up and around, big stretch. And now take the opposite arm as you exhale. Give yourself a little hug, curl it in. And then on the next inhale, just open up. And come back to that mountain pose and just notice what you notice. You can keep the eyes closed and just maybe take a little elongation of your spine, feel the feet on the ground, and just noticing yourself in the space that you're in. And then take a moment and just glance at, if you're going to take a seat now, as I am, just glance at and really like mindfully moving from that seated position. So many of the things we do, we just do automatically. So just really feel as you're moving into your seat. Let yourself be in the sensation of your body moving into a seated position. And then take a moment. And if you feel like you need, like want to call in energy, if your day is getting going, you can take your palms up. If your day is kind of winding down, you want to take your palms down. And just place them either way, palms up or palms down. But place in your hands as you place them the awareness to your sense of touch. And just notice what you notice. If your palms are facing down and they're now touching and your fingers are touching, pads of your fingers are touching your knees and your legs, notice that point of contact. If your hands are open, facing up, just notice the point of contact of your fingers, your finger pads, the palms of your hands with the air. And let your eyes close if you haven't already. And just taking a few clearing breaths, just exhaling everything through the nose. And then with the next inhale, draw the breath in, 3-part breath. Fill the base of your spine, your hips, your low belly, then let your chest fill, front, back, sides of your chest. Let the top of the breath come into the upper part of the chest, shoulder blades, collarbone, neck area. And then as you exhale, let it all settle down. Expelling all the breath by drawing back on the navel. And then as you inhale, take the breath back in, filling first the low hips, pelvic floor, low belly into the back of the chest, the front of the chest, the side of your chest, up to the top of your chest, collarbones, shoulder blade area, throat area, and then exhale it out and down. And then with the next breath, let this go in the same way in terms of filling from the bottom to the top. But as you do, just inviting that your breath is coming in and just gathering up all of the distractions, the concerns, the worries, the speculations, the anticipations, the regrets, the remorse, everything that looks forward and looks backwards. And as you exhale, you're just letting that expel just in this moment, just settling even more into this moment, free in this moment from the interpretations, the speculations, the calculations, the revisions that take you backwards and forwards. And just let your belly be soft. No longer directing your breath, just being aware of the sensations of your senses gathering information. Draw your attention for a moment to that sense of touch again. Palms of your hands, your skin, your seat meeting whatever you're seated upon. Your clothing. And with the next few breaths, just noticing the sense of hearing my voice, hearing the other sounds in the space, maybe hearing sounds beyond your space. If your sense of sight is limited by having your eyes closed, you can still notice what you notice behind the eyelids. And there's that inner sight, right? We hold visions, we hold images that come and go. And then just notice any interpretations or categorizations, judgments that your mind may be asserting upon the direct sensory experience. And not trying to change that, not judging your judgments, but just letting them be, but noticing, right? That there are two simultaneous, sometimes there is a little space between, there is a precipice of perception that precedes the judgment, the assessment, the categorization. And just we'll take about 3 minutes and just noticing that. So you can be with your outer sensations. You can also be with what you notice inside of yourself. And then just noticing when the mind kicks in and starts to judge or categorize or name or qualify something you're perceiving, or it starts to carry you from there forward, backward, the past or the future. And just noticing the behavior of your mind, its tendencies in this moment. They may be very different in other moments. Now just noticing where your mind is or where it's gone, if it's still just in the spacious openness of observing. It's gone in the past and the present. And again, without judging it, just bringing it back. And just setting inside of yourself, like noticing if there is a kind of way that you can, in a sense, kind of an inner posture that you can bring into association, into connection with this quality of spacious observation, of spacious experience. Maybe it's like you kind of sit back a little bit inside of yourself, like lean back without physically leaning back, but it's like an inner leaning back, opening up. So that maybe as you move forward in your day or night, there's a little more of a quality of presence to what you experience in its purity before the interpretation or the filtering through judgments, preferences, conditioning, wounding. And in that spaciousness exists a field of possibility. It's a liberatory field where we can be loosened from what grabs us and binds us to patterns and habits of thinking and being in relationship to ourselves and the world, people in our life. With the next exhale, just let your hands slip from wherever they are in your body. And the next inhale, just let your arms come up and around your body. Take a little stretch up. And then exhale, bring them down to the third eye. May you taking the time, me taking the time for this practice support our capacity to truly see with more spaciousness, to perceive greater possibility, to greater clarity what is here and what is happening and what is possible. Take a deep inhale. Down through the nose and landing on the lips. May this practice help us have more spaciousness around our inner dialogue and the words that come out of our mouths, to be able to bring more discernment and alignment with what we say to ourselves and what we say to the people around us, with what it is we want to create in the quality of our relationships with ourselves and others. And take an exhale down to your heart and just take a little bow to your own heart space. May this practice nourish our hearts and create greater capacity for us to live in alignment with the love, the care, the beauty, the sweetness of our hearts. Blessed be to you. Many blessings. I hope to catch you soon in another offering. There's a lot going on, so check out the next emails and newsletters to see. I'll be rotating different offerings over the coming months. And yeah, reach out. Let me know how you're doing and how these practices are landing with you, what's working and what you'd like more or less of. All right, take care.